Hello folks and welcome to this week's Music Alerts video. This time I've got some vinyl for you, but let's begin with CD. Now if you're bored with the same old, I have a couple of rather more experimental outings for you this time around. Well, to begin with anyway. Let's look at a label called Unsounds and a new-ish album from a Cypriot composer, Yannis Kyriakides, hope I pronounced that right, and the album Amiandos, again, hope I've got that right, combining contemporary classical works while playing with electronica and silence and space. Nothing is off limits to this man, so you'll hear delicate piano tinklings on one particular moment, and then at the next moment, highly distorted and fractured sound attacks on the other. Challenging stuff, but interesting. And while we're taking a few chances, also check out Vasco Trilla and an album called The Bell Slept Long in Its Tower. Now this guy is I was going to say drummer, but more percussionist, because he'll hit anything, this guy. Anything at all. I wouldn't stand too close to old Vasco if I was you. Vasco dabbles in what's been described as free sound to drums and percussion, improvised music in which Trilla will play with instruments to basically see what happens, sometimes combining them with intriguing results. Back to more familiar, structured ditties now, but again, slightly out there, and the Portland, Oregon man Steve Barton. He has an album called Time Hard Won on the Right Track label. The music here is heavy, and I don't mean heavy in a rock kind of way, I mean in a more of an emotional, attitude-wrapped manner, laden down with perspective, buried in mood. This is one man's opinion, because only one man at a time can really handle it. Next, the Digipack encased Willow Pillow from Jeff Evans' Porkestra, on his own private label, I think. Now, I initially thought this might have something to do with Steve Cobby, the UK guy who's basically Funky Porcini. I don't know if you've ever seen his works on Ninja. This is a different thing entirely. This is Jeff Evans and the Porkestra. Now, Jeff Evans has been compared to Lou Reed, and I kind of hear that. There's even on occasion a wall of sound to back him up. Then there's the more reflective, lazy, slurry, moonshine brewing, good old boy country twang. If you fancy a holiday, go visit Jeff. From UK outfit Jasmine now, and a sort of EP collection from Duane Eddy. Specifically, tracks taken from EPs issued in the US, the UK, West Germany as was, France and Sweden between 1958 to 1962. That lot also includes B-sides and album tracks. Onto the Frontier label now, and the Danish hard rockers Fate, their latest album, Reconnect and Ignite. Don't forget the Reconnect and Ignite. Known for their revolving door full of band members going, leaving after a cup of tea and a biscuit, you never really know where you are with this band, so you don't know what to expect from a new album, do you? This one is attractively melodic though. It features crunchy guitars, meaty percussion, soaring riffs, and classic hard rocking vocals. If you're into classic hard rock noise, check this one out. Onto vinyl now, and first up on vinyl is jazz trumpet man Bobby Bradford and his cousins. Freddie Ain't Ready is the title, and in quotes no less. Avant-garde man Bradford, with his easy-going trumpet presentation, has played with the greats Ornette Coleman, Eric Dolphy, and many more, and he's still at it. But this recording is a real audiophile production, because it was recorded live to 2-track analog tape at Hollywood's East West Studios, with reportedly no editing, limiting, or compression, mastered in a thoroughly analog manner by boy wonder Kevin Gray, and also ultra quiet 180-gram vinyl at RTI. Phew. Speaking of audiophile, check out Chesky. Actually, 2 compilation LPs from the Chesky label via Evosound. The first, pressed on blue, turquoise if you insist, vinyl called the HiFi Experience. It covers world music, jazz, folk, and more. And it features people like, who does it feature? Well, people like Casey Abrams, Monty Alexander, and a favourite of mine, John Pizzarelli. As ever with Mr. Chesky, the recording quality is impeccable. Expect to hear this one at your nearest hi-fi show soon, unless you hear the second release first. The sleeve art is either cute and cuddly or slightly disturbing. I lean towards the latter. But this collection, called the Best of Evosound Audiophile, arrives on green vinyl, and I'm sticking with green, and it sits within a mobile fidelity clone sleeve, and it features clarity and transparency from the likes of Bob James and Susan Wong, and Foreplay, who within feature the likes of Chaka Khan, or as she's known in our house, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. It's an old I feel for you joke. Next, 2 stirring classics from ex-Mott the Hoople frontman Ian Hunter. First up is 1979's You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic, a great title for an LP, and a great album it is too, created with the help of another great, Mick Ronson. Even John Cale makes a guest appearance. The second album I have here is Short Back and Sides from 1981, featuring the Clash's Mick Jones on guitar, and it shows how Hunter had been affected by punk with its harder, sharper take on rock. Hunter is on top form here. Finally, all the way from Decca is a disc compilation totaling 25 tracks called The Psychedelic Scene, which was initially released back in 1998 on CD, and it's here now on vinyl. Taken from Decca's own archives and focusing on the prog and psych imprints like, well, places like DRAM, for example. Expect to see people like Tintin Abbey, The Moody Blues, Small Faces, Curiosity Shop, The End, and many more. There's a host of little-known bands here like The 23rd Turnoff, World of Oz, and Virgin Sleep. And this compilation is all the better for it. Pressed on a sort of plum-coloured vinyl, there's a 4-sided large format insert focusing on each track, which is great to see. Highly recommended. And that's your lot, folks. Thanks for staying to the end of this particular video. Before you go, down there somewhere, can you click on the like and subscribe buttons, please? Just helps this channel to grow. Further down in the description, there are links to my website, my Facebook group, which you're welcome to join, and also my Patreon page. And there's lots of other music features over there, videos as well. If you're into hi-fi, there's a weekly exclusive hi-fi news, etc. video as well. All kinds of bits. Check it out. I'll be back next week with another one of these. So I hope to have your company. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.